Welcome to Savor Newark, the podcast, a space where we discuss why the Newark culinary scene is so authentic. Today, we have the pleasure of talking to our great friend, Lynda Molina, the mastermind behind the beautiful flavors at Burke's Tavern. Lynda, welcome to Savor Newark.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Linda, you have it's a family operation. You and your husband Diego,
Hmm.
Costa Rica, Brazil, met in Newark, bringing global flavors with an elevated sense of comfort
Hmm.
to the neighborhood. Congratulations!
Thank
We're
you.
such great friends. It's really amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, what I feel about your style and about the food at Burke's Tavern is it's comfort food, but it's elevated.
A
It's
little
the
bit.
type of, there's a little bit of a gourmet touch to it that you
Right.
don't really find in a regular bistro.
Hmm.
There's, you brought a certain level of sophistication
Right. Right.
to that scene.
Hmm.
Um, where does that inspiration come from, and what makes Burke such a success?
Well, thank you for that. Well, one of the things that I love is to just have food that is comfortable for you, where you can enjoy it, but also not too pretentious. And just being able to be honest about it, great ingredients, fresh ingredients, but also something that you can make at home if you wanted to. And I just wanted to bring that in. I love going to a place where, they have classic dishes, and but they're just a little bit more elevated. Somebody took a time to do just a special sauce for it or a special ingredient in there. So yeah, I just wanted to make something short, small menu, and bring something that's just very comfortable for you to sit and honest. To me, it's all about honesty in the food.
You come from a background of you went to the NGI, right? Oh,
NGI, Natural Gourmet Institute in
so
New
there's a
York.
little bit of the gourmet. It's very farm to table. You also like the whole purpose, but it's uh, gourmet with a sense of purpose
Yes,
to comfort
correct.
the community.
Right. For me, it's very important also where food comes from, not just how to elaborate a dish, but also where it comes from. So when I decided that I wanted to pursue this professionally, I found this great school. It's a small school, um, which now is part of a larger school. But back then it was just a small school, and they focus on where the food comes from. Is it organic? Does it come locally? And they also focus a little bit on environmental. So the environment, how it affects our food industry, what we do, how it actually affects the environment. So we learned all of that. And we also learned how food affects you, your body itself, and how food can also heal you if that's something that you need in that moment. So that's NGI. It's a great education. So it comes all three together. You get the um, the classic culinary training. Plus, you also have the nutrition part of that, and also the environment. So it was a very interesting.
So that holistic approach um, to, to your business
Mhm.
shows. And you also had pretty big shoes to fill because in our generation, Hell's Kitchen was pretty nostalgic.
Mhm. Yes.
So and it really shaped. I mean, it was the first bar where I played my first show,
Right.
for
Right.
instance, in
Right.
the States,
Yes.
in a bar. Maybe not the first show, but like at a bar here in Newark, and so many stories. So I remember there was a big expectation.
Right,
Well, they're
right.
changing. Oh, they're reopening
Yes,
Hell's Kitchen. Like
yes.
it was always
Yeah,
Hell's
that got
Kitchen.
us actually a little attention, which was great when you're starting a business and you want people to notice you. But it was sad. I actually I went to Hell's Kitchen a couple of times. I loved it there. It was so eclectic. But people were very curious about what happened to Hell's Kitchen and what's coming next. So it got us a good amount of attention. So I actually was very grateful for that.
It
Yes.
was great, and but sometimes people can be they're so emotionally attached to something that they
Right.
tend to automatically it's
Yes.
not the same and all. But I think in your case, you assumed that we're going to honor the legacy
Mhm.
and create our own and go deep into the whole history of Burke. And
Right.
so when you go, it was a very intentional.
Mhm. Mhm.
It feels intentional. It feels
Yeah.
that you didn't want to shake the neighborhood. It's almost like this makes sense. We want to respect the legacy. We want to respect the history,
Right.
and while we respect that, we also want to give our contribution and elevate it to a whole other level.
Right.
And it shows
Thank you.
when we go to Burke's Tavern. You were intentional in making the decoration be a part of history. So there are pictures of the original owner.
Right, right, yes. So Burke's, well, as you said, there was Hell's Kitchen and there was, I think there was a Spaniard restaurant before that. So that location itself has been a lot of changing. It has a lot of names. And one of the things we're trying to look a little farther back. We couldn't really we couldn't decide on a name for for the restaurant. And Diego, my husband and business partner, he actually had to go to the Newark Public Library to find something. We couldn't find anything on this location itself. So he had to go over there and he went to the newspaper archives and just looked for that address, and then Burke's Tavern popped up. So the family was there. And then we digged a little bit more into that. And then, we found out what it was. It was a long running, it was one of the longest running taverns in Newark. Um, and it until it closed down and then it got sold. But it was the same family, the Burks family, and it went through Prohibition era, and it's all
We're talking about how many years ago, roughly?
so 1918 around there. 1918.
So it's history that you're bringing.
Yeah, so we wanted
You're
to
giving it a
bring
new
we
life.
wanted to yeah, so we love history, and we wanted to bring just a little more value into or more purpose to the name, and have showcase a little more history here in Newark. So we brought the name, and then we actually, as you know, that location was closed out, the windows, and we opened it up. We did renovations. The windows is actually what it used to look like back then. So we didn't know exactly what it looked like, but later on we saw their family contacted us and showed us pictures of the actual original Burke's Tavern. And it was just a coincidence. It really looked like the picture. So it was um
It
um
was meant to be.
yes, it was really, really, and we were both very shocked when we saw the pictures, how
It's almost like that you felt
yes.
something in the
Yeah, it's
air
almost
that
like the
was
place
guiding.
itself was like telling us, "Hey, this is what we should be doing."
Hmm.
So it was we kind of let it tell us where it wanted to go.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, you already shared with me that you were wanted to bring something to Newark that
Mhm.
Newark was lacking,
Mhm.
and that you would go to New York City, Hoboken,
Right.
some of these cities, and you're like, Newark also deserves to have
Yes.
these flavors and
Mhm.
this global approach to.
Right.
Um, Share with us what went this creation process. So who had the idea? Was you, your husband?
Well, I think it was both of us, but we, like you said, we used to, we love to go out and dine, and we were going to various places, but they were all outside of Newark. I mean, we eat in Newark, but we were just looking for this like small menu. Um, uh, Bistro style place, and we used to go to New York, Jersey City, Hoboken, anything around here, to get this style of food. And one day, we were like, we were ready to invest. We wanted to invest in an area, and we wanted it to be Newark, and we just figured, we could do it here. We created a place that we would love to. So we would start this conversation of, what would you like what would make you want to go into this place? So we had that conversation about, what the food would be like, what the drinks would be like, what it would look like. And if we said, yeah, this would be our spot. This will be our favorite spot in Newark if it was like this. So we created that. That's how we started building that idea about where, what it would look like. Yeah.
Both of you come from backgrounds with rich culinary tradition, Costa Rica,
hmm
Brazil.
hmm
What went to making the menu?
So I think that's just a lot of what I experienced throughout my throughout my career. I've done pretty much I've worked in almost every area. Sorry. I worked pretty much in every area. I worked in catering, banquet halls. I did private chef. I also did, like the New York scene, the restaurants, the insanity of New York. But all of that, through it, I kept picking on things that I loved and that I liked. I also had a couple mentors that also helped me create what you would call a style, right? Or what I like. And just a little bit here and there. And I just took that all together, and I wanted a menu that people are can go and pick. Today I want like whatever, like pasta, fresh pasta, but or
That you also make in
we
house.
make at home. Yeah, everything we
The
make.
pappardelle, right?
Yes, everything we make in
I'm
in the
such a big
house.
fan of your.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, so I took a little bit of that. I worked with Italian chefs. That's where that comes from. So I took everything that I've experienced and kind of put like one dish out of every experience I've had. So yeah, it's a
And it's interesting because also your staff and your waiters, they also give you that. No, this is made in house.
it
So
is,
like
yeah, yeah.
they sell the value of what
Yes,
it is,
yes,
as they should,
yeah. Well,
and you have great service there too.
I believe that if you can have a small menu, and um if you can just make every as much as you can, make in the house, so people, like dressings, all these, you people can buy it, but it's better if you make it yourself. You know what you're doing, you know what you're putting in there, it's fresh. And yeah, we try to make, I'm not going to say all of it, but I'm going to say we get pretty close to 99% of everything that we have, we make in the house.
Mhm.
Yes.
People can say that it's American elevated American comfort food.
hmm
and they're not necessarily wrong, but you also have Middle Eastern
Right.
influences,
Yeah.
Mediterranean influences. The
Yes.
branzino
Hmm.
is great.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
yes, but America is also a little bit of that too.
That's exactly. It's funny you say that. That's exactly how why I chose. Even though I'm, originally from Costa Rica, and like you said, Diego's from Brazil. We're immigrants in this country, and I chose a new American restaurant. And the reason why I chose that is because I believe that's who we are. This is what what America to me is today. It's just a boiling pot of cultures, and I believe that it's a little bit of like, a Middle Eastern influence or European or Mediterranean influence. We're all that. That's what makes this country great. So I that's why I think that's the most new American thing that I could think of. It's just a mix of all of us, of who we are, and
Right.
we are part of that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And it shows. So not only those influences are very intentional and very well curated, and result in amazingly delicious dishes. Because sometimes we can have great ideas and great concepts, and
Right.
then the dishes are like,
Where there's a trial and error to everything, and
but it's not your case. I mean, you guys from the get-go, everything was very delicious.
well, no, we did a lot of trial
I
and
mean, the things
error.
that I've tried, at least.
It's what we see, I only put, I mean, we try everything, and I only um put dishes on my menu that I believe in them. If I don't believe in them, and I have to be honest about it, right? So if if I did something, it was a great idea. Once I executed the dish, something was off about it. I have to be honest to myself and say, hey, we got to start from scratch, and we're going to do it again. So we did a lot of that, and everything that's on there, it's something that I tried, I liked it, and I believed in it. So behind it, there's a lot of trial and error,
I mean,
unfortunately, but that's part of it.
it's part of it, and also
Yeah.
shows your commitment to quality. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, you have to be humble enough to be able to say, this is not right. This doesn't belong here. And start over.
Mhm,
It's part of the routine. It's part of this industry.
mhm.
Hmm.
Mm. What were the main challenges that you faced when you were opening Burke's Tavern?
I think our biggest challenge was we were actually going when we were in the midst of it. COVID was um, was the pandemic was part of that. So everything was so scary. There was the unknown of what would happen to the restaurant industry, right? It was a big effect, a big blow on the restaurant industry. So we had to make a decision whether to move forward or to shut it down. And we made the decision. We um, told ourselves basically, if I don't do this, will I regret it? It's kind of like the thing that I do. I was like, when I can't make a decision on something, I will look back and say, would I regret not doing this in I don't know, couple years? And the answer was yes. So we decided to move forward, even though everything screamed, don't do it. This is very risky. I mean, it's already risky. The restaurant industry is very, very risky. It's got about a 70% failure. So you take a long chance, and on top of that, you have the COVID pandemic. Everything shut down. So that decision was probably one of the hardest thing we had to we have to make. So once we sorry, once we made that decision, um, you know, we had to be very patient. Nothing was opened. We couldn't even for get anything done, any paperwork done, any permits, everything was just, and there was nobody to work as well. We had a lot of renovations to do, and um, nobody was there
So a
to
lot
help.
of the things you did yourself
We
was your
did, yeah. We
brother.
had we had to roll up our sleeves and learn how to do a lot of things that I didn't know how to do before. So I could say that we probably could have a small renovation or construction company after that. We did a lot of the work ourselves.
Mhm.
So, but at the end, what COVID gave us was time. It gave us a lot of time to work on and perfect what we wanted to do at Burke's and make it like a little more detailed than we probably would have been able to do if it was just open and running and we got to go and open and you know. So it gave us time. That's what it gave us. But it was very difficult to make that decision to move forward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's funny because this was a family operation. I think a lot of your success is also explained by how close you are.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to your brother about the process of building, he always keeps it such a light, positive, smiley.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. He's very proud. He's very proud. Yes.
proud, and even the moments that seemed that were, I'm pretty sure that were hard. You you in a way ended up breezing through them with a family operation, and
Right.
there's a you're also a testament to the importance of that core of having
Right.
a solid foundation.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was just helping our the whole family came together, and we were able to accomplish actually opening just because they all had our backs, and we were very grateful for that. Yeah, absolutely.
And so are we, because it's definitely great. One thing about Newark that I also think that you ended up bringing is there's not that much of a tradition of chefs
Mhm.
per se. So in the traditional sense of going to school, culinary institute,
Right.
some sort, like making it as a career in that sense.
Hmm.
Some people work in restaurants, they start working as the assistant
Right.
to the cook there, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden they become um, we slowly see a younger generation of bringing a different level of sophistication and elevation of these traditional
Hmm.
flavors. We still respect, obviously, the majority that didn't really necessarily go to school. I mean, they've learned, and they still make a really good job. But it's interesting to see a younger generation
Hmm.
kind of elevating it a notch,
Right.
so people understand. So you worked in New York. What were some of the restaurants that you worked? The type of cuisines or styles? Because that will it helps us understand why everything is just so amazing and so eclectic.
Thank you. I worked at an Italian restaurant called Vic's, and the executive chef there, Hillary Sterling, was is an amazing chef and an amazing mentor. And having her being the a female chef or it's just something that I wanted to see and look forward to see what that looks like in New York. So that was an amazing experience for me. It's New York is something else. It's if like they say, if you make it there, you can make it anywhere. And I think it's mainly because it's really tough. It's tough to you have to toughen up. You have to. It's a different level. I mean, we're talking about 300 covers per shift, so that's 300 people walking in, and then you do it again over and over and over again. So I worked in a place that was very busy, and we did pastas, and this is where you see the cacio e pepe, which is a little bit of that mentoring that I got there and the experience that I got in that restaurant. Um, I worked in David Valued, one of his restaurants as well, which is a little bit more Mediterranean. Um, and it created this. Both of these places just created for me just a lot of learning experience. The food you love, you can create. It's somebody else's food, but the experience itself of being in that craziness in New York is what really you bring out of there. And then you can do whatever you want with that. You have the discipline of being able to manage so many people coming in at the same time, the discipline to be there every day, execute dishes,
Consistency.
consistency. And this is what, to me, what New York, or this experience in New York, gives all chefs. And then you can do whatever you want with that. You can take that and make your own little place anywhere else you want, anywhere in the world. But this you carry with you for sure, like a black belt, like a stripe in a black belt. Yeah.
Right.
hmm
Which Diego also fought jiu-jitsu.
Yes, yes, yeah, I can't even, I don't even know. I think he's out there. I think he's gonna kill me, but um he's
He's
like a
pretty
purple
high
belt.
ranked.
Yes, I don't know if it's black belt, but I think it's like purple or something. Yeah, it's a high, he's very high up there. Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
like, it's
Yeah,
brown. I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah.
Sorry.
I,
Us.
I wouldn't get in a fight with him. I would put it that way.
Me neither.
Yeah,
And you
I
seem
wouldn't
so
fight
calm, but all of a
him.
sudden you're so lethal at the same time.
Yes.
So going back to your New York experience,
Mhm.
if you were to give an advice to a younger generation of chefs that want to make it in New York,
Mhm.
because there's all the chef role has also been glamorized in
Right.
a way,
Yeah. Nothing
through
glamour
some
about being a
right through
chef.
reality shows, and
Right.
people also associate you knowing food or wines as it
Right.
makes you. There's
Right.
a level of
Yeah.
sophistication to it, and it makes you, makes people look and feel more global
Mhm.
citizens, so there's a certain sophistication to it, which might inspire younger
Right.
chefs
Right.
to eventually do it, especially in New York.
Yes.
So that's why I think that it's interesting coming from you. Not only you're a chef, you're also an entrepreneur, and you've seen it all.
Right.
um, what kind of advice do you think that you would give to these younger potential future chefs that would like to make it in New York? Are they really ready for it? What do they have to have in order to be ready?
I think I would say start off with a positive mindset, going into these big restaurants, and taking as much experience as you can out of that, and knowing that this is something that you can learn from it, and also there's a lot of, for me at least in New York, was a lot of discipline. I had to learn a lot of discipline, and that helps you in this industry to be able to be that disciplined, and it almost um, it makes you um, want to drive a little bit more. This It pushes you to a little bit of to your limit. It pushes you,
It
and
becomes a very, very physical too.
it does. It
That
becomes very.
machine mode.
It does, yes. It definitely puts you in a machine mode, and this is just one part of it. And once you can um, kind of master that part of it and you can kind of start creating a little more as well. because it's all it's a combination of things being in the kitchen. You need to have discipline. You need to be creative, um, and both of those things sometimes don't match. Sometimes you want to be really creative, but it's not really something that you can execute fast enough in the kitchen. So sometimes you have to learn that, and New York will give you that, will teach you that, and and be patient as well. Be patient. Um, be very patient. You require a lot of uh, patience to be there.
Mhm.
So that would be a good, an advice for them. Yeah. And
Sometimes,
female, I'm sorry, and female chefs too is it's a hard one too. It really is tough for a female chef.
why would
So
you say that?
um it's not kitchen is mainly unfortunately it's very man dominated. So even though um culinary schools have 51% of women that are there to train as chefs. Um, Yet only 21 of them make it to the kitchens. It's really tough. I mean, it's a lot of like I said, it's very man dominated. So you really have to have like a tough skin, and sometimes people won't even hire you because you're a woman as a chef.
Mm.
So it's hard, it's difficult. So hang in there. And like I did, I try to follow very strong female chefs that were in restaurants and that I could be there and learn from them, and see how kind of like how it's done, right? How you could, I want to be like that, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Nice. It's interesting because when we think of comfort and food and nostalgia,
Hmm.
of course, there are exceptions, but we normally think of mother's food
Right.
faster than father's
Hmm.
food, right?
Hmm.
It's almost like, oh, nothing like going home and eating my mother's food, right?
Right.
It, it, it's sad to see that in the industry, then, the female role, that
Right.
it's always very sacred because it's associated to a motherly figure.
Right.
It's it's not as respected.
Right. And like a lot of the recipes actually that a, a lot of restaurants have, or that chefs have, male chefs are actually from their moms
Or
or their
grandmother.
grandmothers, or just passed down through generations. Um, but yeah, it's I'm not really sure why, but it's been like it's really tough still. I don't think we should be there um, um, in these times, but we are. But I my kitchen is 90% women, and they're tough. They're tough. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like, and they're very very disciplined, and I really don't understand why a lot of women
Attentive to
do.
detail.
Yeah, attention to detail. And I wish it was a little more open to have this conversation where, why is it like that women once they come in, they looked as if it was a little like weak, like the weak sex, right? The weak chef. And that's not the case at all. I don't believe that. I seen women pull off um, uh, just the craziness in the kitchens that that men do as well. So I don't know why there's that little bit of that discrimination, if I could
Hmm.
put it that way. Yeah, we're still working on that.
So this podcast, our goal is to highlight things of value
Hmm.
in a very ethical, honest way,
Hmm.
while also touching topics of social relevance
Hmm.
and injustice, if you will. So while you're here and while you have this
Hmm.
platform, what would you like for
Hmm.
an industry that it's apparently male dominated,
Right.
and some women still feel victims of that prejudice. Or
Right.
what would you like a lot of these gatekeepers or people that mold that mentality to know about the female talent and the importance of the contribution of women to this industry, based
Um,
on your personal experience, as you were saying? Just elaborate a little bit more. Your team examples that you've seen that women are also at the level, bringing a more of a female approach, that it's
yeah.
also very honorable.
I think it shouldn't matter to whether you're a male or female, chef. It's about talent. And just overseeing that and giving just letting this old school way of the male chef is the one that's the he's got everything under control. And I just think there's just it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter well, which one it is, either it's male or female. It's all about talent. um and yeah, I just think that it's not irrelevant to yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
We're talking now, going back to Newark. We're talking about Newark going through this renaissance and
Mhm.
more people coming to Newark,
Right.
and maybe can it be the next Brooklyn? Maybe, or can it be the next Jersey
Right.
City?
Yeah.
There's so many positives about Newark. There's so
Mhm.
many things that make Newark a pretty valuable,
Mhm.
unique brand, from culture, arts, hip hop artists that are also elected
Yes.
officials. I mean, Newark
This
is
is
pretty unique in
right.
itself, a melting pot too. Um, you are definitely, you your group, um, the team behind Burke's Tavern. You're definitely anticipating that, and you're
Mhm.
bringing more of that sophistication, global approach. Still very relatable.
Right.
Still, not necessarily in a pretentious way. Still
Mhm.
very homey and comfortable, but
Mhm.
elevated
Mhm.
for sure. Was that something that you, because you could eventually take this restaurant elsewhere,
Yeah.
but you specifically chose Newark?
Mhm.
Why Newark? Why Burke Tavern in Newark, even during the pandemic?
Right.
Was it because of the momentum that the city is going through? How did you believe so much in this concept in the city of Newark?
Yeah, I mean, why not, right? But Newark is great. It's got a lot of it's a boiling pot of cultures. It's got a great culinary scene. We have all kinds of restaurants, and it's 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 very variable. We have the Spaniard restaurants, we have the Portuguese restaurants, um, and I just thought that we could bring something in where it's just like a fresh look, a fresh um, menu, fresh dishes, um, but not making it really like uncomfortable for people, so that it's very relatable. It's food that's very relatable um, to everyone around here. So yeah, that's why we chose Newark, because it's got a great scene, culinary scene, um, and yeah, we just love it here. I mean, we've been here for a long time. We dine here, we eat here, um, and we just wanted to bring back also to the community, bring
Mhm.
something here, invest in Newark. Yeah.
We're talking about Newark, New York. Your background is from Costa Rica. Was in
Right.
Costa Rica that you, when did you feel that you have been touched with the love for culinary? When did you discover the chef in you, or that's something that you wanted to do in life?
So well, it starts with my father. My father came here, like everybody's immigrant story. He came here to work, and we got here in like the late '80s, and He got a job as a dishwasher in a restaurant, an American restaurant, and he would, he moved up from being a dishwasher to being the actual chef in the kitchen, in this restaurant. And I would go there all the time because, who's going to watch me after school? So, I would go and hang out in the restaurant. And of course, I was very annoying to the servers and everybody there because I was getting in their way. But it was just seeing that, walking into this restaurant, the movement, the quickness of it, the smells, the food. I fell in love with it. I fell in love with this little, like, organized chaos that is a restaurant. And I think for me, I remember my dad making baked ziti, and I've never had that before. Coming from Costa Rica, we never saw this style of food. So just seeing him making it, and then I would get to try it. And it's just such a simple dish, and it's such a, like, very humble dish, but it was just great to me. It was wonderful. And I every time that I got a chance, I would go and just hang out with him and with everybody. And I didn't know it back then that this had been such an important part, um, for me, to for who I would become later on. It was later on that, looking back, where I was like, this is the moment when I walked into the restaurant my dad used to work in. This is the moment when I tried that baked city, that I said, "Oh, I love this. I love the smells of the restaurant. I love even, like, I remember they had um, like a little cypress tree outside, and they put the little lights around it. It was winter time, so it was like a, they trying,
Christmassy.
yeah. And I just love that. I love all of it. I loved when you walked in, you saw the little trees, and I remember all these details, which is, but yeah, I never had that back in my country. And when I had it here, when I experienced it through my dad, um, I loved it. It got engraved in my brain, and I still love it today. Every day I walked into my restaurant, I love that the smells of the restaurant, the fryer. It's amazing to me. I love it.
So these are memories that you could actually smell and taste.
Yes, yes, yes. I think that would be that's the I didn't know it back then, but that was the moment. Later on, um, when I was older, and I, like everybody, has to make a decision about what you're going to do in life. I definitely, and it always was pulled into the restaurant industry. I was always one way or the other. I always ended up being either cooking or just working in a restaurant business. It just pulled me back all the time, and it just made sense to me. Um, and I don't think I ever wanted to do anything else. I'm being honest.
When you told your father
Mhm.
that you wanted to do it as a career, remember what he said?
Oh, yes, yes. Well, he was very proud, but he did tell me. He said, "Oh boy, like, God, you don't know what you're getting into." But he also knew, he trusted that I had what it took. But he kind of knew that this was going to happen. Yeah, for sure. He saw me all the time. He knew for sure. So yeah, so I had, um my dad, and then now, um me falling into those steps.
But there was always like a family love affair throughout this whole
Yes.
journey.
Yes,
Your
absolutely.
connection with your father,
Yes.
inspiration with
Yes.
now your husband, that
Yes.
he's also
Yeah.
such an important figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
of this whole operation.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you have people that inspire you, and then you have also people that are mentors to you. They're essential. I think in any aspects in life, you need mentors. But especially if you want to be a chef, you need people to look up to and also inspire you. So yeah, my dad was definitely one of those. Hmm.
And what would you remember the best compliment that you received
From what, for like a dish?
from your father, from any family member that has been supporting you and has
Um,
been seeing what you've become?
well, I think they were all very proud. And we come from, very humble backgrounds, and having my own business, which is like big, big step for our family. I just feel I can see it. Maybe there's not a lot of like, high five or, but I can see it, they're always around, and I can just, with little things they say here and there, I can see that we're all proud. And it's like you said, it's all of us together. So
For people who don't know about Burke's Tavern,
hmm
what do you think that they can expect and that makes it so special to go there?
um I think to me is about the experience when you come inside, and then you have um, very honest dishes that are not too pretentious, but also um, it's it's about like this personal touch that we give to it. We're all there. I'm cooking. My husband's, he's probably shaking some cocktails. So we're all there. Everything's done personally for you, for when you come in, for you to feel welcomed. And with, like you said, with just a little bit of that, like that extra special touch in every dish. And I hope people see that when they bring out a dish. It could be a simple one, but when we bring it out, we just add a little extra love to it. Yeah.
What would you see happening in Newark, Burke's Tavern in Newark?
Mhm.
What are your, how do you see the future?
We're definitely looking into um, investing in a second location. We're not there yet 100%. We're still It's still in very rough. It's not nothing concrete. But we're looking. We're already have some ideas. So we're planning it. We just not to say too much, but it's in the works. It's in the works for us to have another location.
So there's growth,
Yes.
and that's growth. It's also the growth that you're sharing is definitely an extension of the vibe
Right.
around Newark.
Yeah.
What would you like for people that don't know Newark that well? They've never been
hmm
here. What would you like for them to know about Newark that maybe they don't know and they're overlooking?
Um, I think giving Newark the chance of coming in here and just tasting, just going around. There's so much to do in Newark. It's not just restaurants. There's so much to do. Um, I think giving yourself that chance to be open mind about Newark itself, and yeah, come in, taste it, experience it. It's not just it's also the people that are here, and just see how amazing it is. It really is an amazing place. Um, yeah, to me, Newark is where you can be anything you want. You can come here and um, you can dream here and make it a reality here, which is not. It's special. Not a lot of places have that. Yeah, you can. It's very reachable to be Newark is very reachable. You can come here create something and then say, you know what, maybe this, I can have a business here, I can grow here, I can have a community here. So yeah, definitely come here and
It's definitely
absorb,
worth it.
yeah, absorb all that in, with an open mindset. Mhm.
Very good. I think we're already reaching the end. Is there anything else that you would like to share that we didn't cover?
Um, I mean, I guess the only thing I would like to say right now is how important it is to support our immigrant communities. It's not easy right now. It's tough times, and I would like to see that more now to um, have more of empowerment to us, the immigrant community here, particularly everywhere, but particularly here in Newark, where there it's a very important part of our economy. It's important for us, especially the restaurant industry. We all have to support each other and help our communities, especially our immigrant communities right now. That would
Very
be,
good.
yeah. Hmm.
Well, very powerful words.
Hmm.
Where can people keep in touch with Burks? Follow you on social media?
Well, you can follow us on Instagram at Burke's Tavern. We don't have a website, but we have our social media is Facebook or Instagram. So that's where we are. Hmm.
Very good. Lynda, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so
Sure.
much for
Thank you
coming.
so much for inviting me.
It was a great conversation with Lynda Molina. Um, Keep in touch with us as well. Follow Savor Newark. Don't forget that Savor Newark this year is going to take place on May 16th. So for more information, just follow Plusable_PR, Savor Newark. Keep in touch with us. If you would also like to be here, get in touch. This is an open space for the community, and it's our pleasure to share amazing stories such as this one. I'll see you on the next episode.